Interested in the new Samsung Odyssey Neo G8? This monitor is currently for sale for $12.99, but is it really worth it? I will cover in this video an unboxing, my first impressions including a scanline test, an nvidia pendulum demo, a few game comparisons which include Aliens Fireteam Elite, Cyberpunk, Halo Infinite, Star Citizen, issues that I have noticed, and my final thoughts. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Alright, so we have the new Samsung Odyssey Neo G8. 240 Hz, 1 millisecond response time, mini LED, and we are going to do unboxing. Let's just take a look. Now, the G7 Neo didn't have this back cover, and the Neo G8 does, probably because of the white aesthetic. So you have the back cover, feet, stand, screws are on it, and they're sharing screws for the VESA mount, 100 by 100. They are saving, and you have to reuse the screws that are partially tapered. They're taped on so they don't fall out. You have the infinity core lighting little ring that goes around. Only you could use it if you're using the stand. So you got the power cable, the display port cable, the USB to computer adapter, power brick. Now they recommend in the manual, if you are going to put the arm mount on for the stock setup, instead of doing the wall mount or a desk mount, to place the monitor arm while it is still in the box. So see how the screws are here, and they're pretty good on there. They're not going to come off, but they just do that as a precaution. So if you need to get these off, you got to really push and unscrew with a screwdriver, or it's really in there. Just like with the Neo G7, it has this little flap for cable management. There's no indent. I think there was a little bit of an indent on the G7 Neo to kind of help route the cables a little bit more, fit a little bit more in there, but this one, it's just straight. The sleeve doesn't come off at all. So this just goes on there, fits in there. Let me grab the screwdriver where I put it. I have no idea where I put my nicer screwdriver, so I'm just going to use a basic. And I can tell you, because there's a plastic wrap that's on there, it's kind of staticky. And don't mind my voice. Just had a reaction to some food, so I'm gonna try and speak up a little bit louder, but it might break up. So, all right, let's see how this looks over here. Okay, go under. So we got the arm stand, and I'm just gonna take this off. I'm not gonna bother taking any of the extra stuff off. There's just a little screw here, on here. This is very finicky. It's on there, but it's kind of loose in there. So just be wary of that. Alright, so lift it right out of the box. And put this box out of the way. So let's see how we'll adjust this up some. Alright. There's a wrap around there. I'm gonna just leave those feet on. So we can look over here. I'll take this camera off the stand. So you have two HDMI 2.1 ports, DisplayPort 1.4, USB 3.0, the input to the computer, and another USB 3.0, a headphone jack port. There's no speakers on here, it's just a pass-through, and the power. And as you can see, this has the little holes for that back plate cover. All right, now we are going to flip it around. It's nice. All right, let's see the front. Again, this is just like the Neo G7. It's a rubber nipple button. 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons. And let us and that will be it for the unboxing. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna check for scan lines. I'm gonna do the pendulum test, make sure there's no flickering with G-Sync. Do a couple games side by side with the G7. The Neo G7 I wound up returning, so it's just like I said, it's for the price compared to the regular 1440p G7. It's just not, it's not there in my opinion. So all right, now we'll do the next segment. So everything's the same. It's like the previous Neo G7 review. It's set to 240 hertz. You got adaptive sync, core lighting. The RGB is a lot smaller than the G7 and the G7 Neo. Picture, you got all the different picture modes, brightness, contrast, sharpness, color, all these color tones, saturation, is that something new that's not on the previous line models. Contrast enhancer, I'm not too much of a fan of it. I mean, it kind of does knock out some of the grays. So let us go to NVIDIA control panel. And this is just going to be a quicker video. Let's make sure G-Sync is on the other one. And G-Sync on the G8. Let's check the resolution settings. 240 hertz. Change it to 10-bit, full RGB. Make sure that's all good. We are going to leave that there. Let's try it, check for scan lines. Now, I don't see any scan lines here, which I'm actually surprised that usually they show up on the G7. They're not actually showing up there, which is actually surprising. I don't see any scan lines over here. Oh, okay, there we go. It's like being intermittent. When I move it, it goes away, but I can see the scan lines here. For here, still no scan lines. So, I mean, this is what I usually do to test for scan lines, and there's none. Off angle, you can see the dimming. Straight on, you don't see it. On auto and SDR, you'll see a little bit. The system, straight on when it's on low, see how bright that gets. There's like none. High, just off to the sides you can see it. I normally just keep it on auto. Not sure if, let's go to picture, calibration report. Okay. Now, I'm not sure what anyone else's is, but the current software version is 1003.0. Screen. Alright. So, and I have an overlay on there, so I'm going to turn that overlay off. Now, same thing as the G7, you want to go under system. Push up to go all the way to the third from the bottom. Turn VRR control on. It'll eliminate any flickering when G-Sync is active. Yeah, so got this going here. Throw it over here. No flickering. G-Sync is on. There's no flickering. Test this around, turn that off. Yeah. Just like on the TVs, they got the different contrast enhancers. It's just like a generic on off. Kind of gives you a little bit more blacks. And you can see pushing this button. These buttons are very stiff, so you can shake it all about. Sitting straight on, I don't really see anything here, but you can see it's a little bit grayed out on the blacks on the G7. And this is a good example here. It's gray. This one is just so black. So let's see how we can play around with this, because you're losing a lot of stars on here. So let's go. Let's turn off contrast enhancer. I mean, kinda. Gamma 2 kind of gets you a little bit more stars. Let's play around with it. Goes darker. All right. Good some game. It's very beautiful though, as you can see. So gaming, I don't think I'll use contrast enhancer, to be honest. That's, especially if you're playing, I mean, it looks a little bit more detailed. Gives a nice little gritty. Benchmark here. I gotta move this over just a little bit so I can see how much time I got on here. I'm recording. Move this back a little bit more so I can try and get everything. There we go. This is a hard one. I like the G7 Neo, and I love my G7s, but like, just how nice and vivid, darker. don't get me wrong, the G7 240Hz 1440p is an amazing monitor. I could actually see here. Alright, let's see. So that's that demo. Alright, it's Halo Infinite. This. You know what? You can just go into Arena Commander. Free flight. It's a real dark map. Let's try that one. Select ship. Make sure it lets me pick this ship, and let's launch. You can see right here. Forward, get third person view. How nice that looks. Float around out here. Let's take a look at that contrast enhancer too. This area isn't as starry though. Force it on. Let's take a look around. Oh gosh. Look how beautiful it is.
Now if it's off, it's pretty similar. Alright.
I was thinking about keeping this, but I noticed, look at the gravestone. You get some inverse ghosting, and that's, I got very great attention to detail, and that would bug the hell out of me. So unfortunately this is just gonna go back. I did not notice this on the G7 Neo, but yep, that's just how it is. So after having some time with this monitor, I would have to say, in my opinion, I would not recommend this monitor. If you're going for a 4K monitor, I'd suggest the Neo G7 over the G8. The Neo G7, I didn't notice any inverse ghosting at all. It's practically the same monitor, having 165Hz 4K versus 240Hz. A different frame design similar to the previous G7 1440p monitor, which is black, and it's a couple $100 cheaper.